The nervous system is made up of three parts. First was the brain, second was spinal cord, and then the nerves. So we have spoken about the brain. Let's look at the second part of the nervous system, which is the spinal cord. So this is the spinal cord that runs along our back, and it is a thick bundle of nerves connected to the brain stem. So you can see here in this region, it is connected to the brain stem, and it goes down your back, and it is protected by the vertebrae of your spine or vertebral column. And several nerves will emerge from the spinal cord, and it forms a network all over your body. So you can see in this picture itself, from the spinal cord you can see different nerves that are coming out, and it forms a network throughout your body. So let's talk about what nerves are exactly. I have a small picture here. We have a network of nerves all over our body, but in this picture, all the yellow lines that you see here are all nerves. For example, you can see one going up here, one coming down here. These are all nerves. Like this, you have nerves in every single part of your body, and messages travel to and from the brain through the nerve. So basically, these nerves act like the telephone wire that carry messages between the brain and the body. When you have to talk to your friend, you just pick up your phone and call them up and talk to them, right? So the messages are actually transported through the wires, correct? Here, if you see, all of the messages are transported like the wire of the telephone. So nerves are acting like the wires of the telephone, which help in transmitting messages between the brain and the body. And there are three different types of nerves. The three types of nerves that are there in our body are sensory nerves, we have motor nerves, and we have mixed nerves. So what are these three different types of nerves? Let's see. So as I told you, nerves are of three types. The first one are called as sensory nerves. So what are these sensory nerves? Sensory nerves basically carry messages from the sense organ to the brain and the spinal cord. So messages move from sense organs to brain and spinal cord. The brain will study these messages and tell us what we have seen, what we've heard, what we've tasted, smelt, or felt. So basically, all our sense organs are controlled by the sensory nerves. That's why the name is sensory nerves. Then we have motor nerves. Motor is movement. So this motor nerves is responsible for movement. They carry orders from the brain and spinal cord to the muscles and glands of our body, telling them how to move or react. If sensory nerves report that the eye has seen a stone approaching us, then the brain messages the leg muscles to move or head muscles to duck so that we avoid this particular stone. So this is the function of the motor nerves. What is the third type of nerves I told you? It is called as mixed nerve. The name itself suggests that these mixed nerves will carry messages between the sensory nerve and the motor nerve cells. And it is present in the brain and the spinal cord. These are the only two places that you will find mixed nerves. So let us talk more in detail about how exactly reflex action takes place and what is reflex action. Now, if you touch a hot object, you immediately withdraw your hand from it, right? Now, this is an automatic reaction. Nobody needs to tell you that, oh, you've put your hand over the flame, take it off. Do anybody have to tell you that? No. The minute you touch the flame, you realize that it's hot, you take your hands off automatically. So it happens automatically even if you're not concentrating on it. You might be thinking about something else, and by mistake you put your hand on something hot. Immediately you take your hands off. Such reactions that do not require your concentration are called as reflex reactions. And in such cases, an interesting thing is that the message needn't go up till your brain. It just reaches your spinal cord, and the spinal cord itself senses danger and takes an action quickly so that your body does not get damaged. Suppose, for example, if you see here, this person is taking his hand near something that is hot, And this message is sent through the hand to the spinal cord. The spinal cord, without any delay, even without transferring the message to the brain, it immediately takes a decision and sends back the reply to the hand saying, take the hands off that place. So this is through a motor nerve, and you can see that there is movement away from the flame. Now, the brain is responsible for coordination of your body. You already know that. There are some movements that we have to learn day in and day out. We have to learn to master them. For example, riding a bicycle or playing a piano or playing any musical instrument or learning how to sing. These are various things that we have to learn, and we keep practicing them over and over again. And the interesting thing is, once you've gotten enough practice, the brain takes over. Then automatically these actions will happen even if you're thinking elsewhere. The next time you yourself observe this, when you're riding a cycle, you'll be thinking about your mama, you'll be thinking about your papa, probably your friend at school, you'll be thinking about your favorite ice cream, but you don't forget to pedal the cycle, right? It happens automatically. That's because your brain has taken control of the thing that you have already learned. So this is called as learning. Isn't this so intriguing and interesting, children? So with this, we complete the part 1 of this chapter. Let's do a quick recap of what all we covered. So we looked into the brain, which is the master organ of our entire body that controls everything, which is like a supercomputer. And we spoke about the regions of our brain. We said that the brain has 3 different regions. They were cerebrum, then cerebellum, and we saw that it has the brain stem, which is called as the medulla. Then we spoke about the spinal cord. We said that the continuation of the brainstem leads to a long extension called as the spinal cord. And we saw from the spinal cord several nerves come out and form a network throughout our body from which messages are passed on. So we saw nerves. And we said that nerves are of 3 different types. One is sensory nerves, then motor nerves, and we saw mixed nerves. We saw sensory nerves control the sense organs. Motor nerves make sure that movement of muscles as well as glands take place. And we saw mixed nerves are seen only in the brain and spinal cord. And then we spoke about reflex action. We saw how exactly a reflex action takes place and how sometimes the brain can take over automatic control of our body. So with this, we finish part 1.